Now that it's official that Tyson Fury has vacated all his belts, that is the WBO, IBO and WBA, the IBF was stripped off him quickly after winning it, basically because he had a rematch clause with Vladimir Klitschko, you know. Took that rematch, so they stripped him of that IBF title. Anthony Joshua was able to fight for that IBF title after Charles Martin beat Glasgow and won that title. In his first defense, lost it to Anthony Joshua. Fury has it looks like the guy has really mental issues, you know. He's dealing with depression. He seems to have taken up a drug habit. I guess they're also looking at like maybe some anti-doping violation. I think him and his cousin Hughie Fury were busted. I'm not sure if this is like an official thing that he has tested positive, you know. So he has cancelled the rematch, you know, with Klitschko. His team said he was medically unfit, so he has really other issues to address before really thinking of his future as a boxer, you know. Also, the British Boxing Board of Control has suspended Mr. Fury's license pending further investigation into anti-doping and medical issues. I don't know if like the cocaine thing falls into the anti-doping, but other people are probably a little relieved, you know, that maybe now a little bit more order is coming into the heavyweight division and Anthony Joshua may be fighting for maybe a couple of those titles against Vladimir Klitschko, you know. But to me, although like Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder are holding belts, from the track record of opponents, just in comparison, Deontay Wilder had decent names on his record since winning that title, and really with his win over Vacates, he was not a long reigning champ or anything, he just won that title, that vacated title against Chris Arreola, you know. And then he fought Deontay. And Deontay took that belt off him. Deontay has some good names on his record since, like Arthur Speaker, Eric Molina, Johan Dupau. He should have fought Povetkin. Povetkin tested positive for something. That would probably been his best name. He since has fought Chris Arreola. I mean, it's like somewhat mediocre competition, I would say. Vacates and Povetkin are fighting, I guess, for the chance fighting Deontay. With Tyson Fury's win over Vladimir Klitschko, who basically had like a 10-year reign in the heavyweight division, I see that as the best win of all those wins, you know. All those heavyweight champions' career so far. Even Tyson Fury has maybe not the best record of names, even before that Vladimir Klitschko fight, even a little worse than Deontay. I mean, Anthony Joshua, I think he has like 17 fights or 15 fights or something, and he's a world champion. Only defended his title once since winning it, and that was against Dominic Brazil. He won it against Charles Martin. And before that, his probably biggest and toughest test was against Dillian Whyte, and he was hurt in that fight. I guess now Dillian Whyte's power is being questioned after a couple of fights since, and it's probably a little alarming that the heavyweight champion had his toughest fight against a guy that doesn't seem to be the hardest puncher on the highest level in the heavyweight division. Now, Tyson Fury beating Vladimir Klitschko for all those belts in his hometown, basically shutting the long-reigning champion totally out, making him look almost novice, and not novice, but definitely very cautious, and having him just not reacting to anything, waiting state for 12 rounds, really clowning Vladimir at times, hurting the champ, making him go to extreme tactics, to extreme maneuvers. Like, who has seen Vladimir Klitschko actually go for a headbutt in a fight before, you know? We've seen him push guys down to the floor after hitting them, leaning on them until they collapse under his weight, but we haven't seen anything as drastic as that. Just blatant, flagrant foul. Actually, Tony Weeks went on to take a point off Tyson Fury in the following round because Vladimir was excessively clinching anytime they went on the inside. Tyson Fury was obviously working his free hand. I guess those shots, I mean, it was rapid shots, but it wasn't the hardest punches, really just like, stop clinching, stop holding me, trying to force either the ref or the fight themselves to break. And he took a point from Fury after flagrant headbutt by Vladimir. I think that headbutt is not talked about enough because like Vladimir is always like portrayed as this role model type of athlete, and I mean they've mentioned even in the pre-fight stuff for the failed rematch, you know, actually kind of going in on Vladimir in the UK press conference, you know. It seemed actually kind of planned, but it was hilarious, man. Seeing Vladimir basically confronted, you know, with that type of questions. They were manipulating the ring mat, I guess foaming it up in order to tire out Tyson Fury's legs. He was coming to move and basically trying to prevent him from moving. I don't know if that's Vladimir himself, but that's definitely his team, you know. Bernd Bönte or something. That dude. Anyway, Tyson Fury beating the man, singing a fucking song after. I think that trumps everything all these other dudes have done. And even him being now out with all these depression issues and whatever, or drug issues. You know, I don't think in the boxing fans' mind we forget who dethroned the champ. You know, even Vladimir goes on to reclaim a couple of those belts and basically take another run at the throne, you know. You know, there's a guy out there, like I said in one of my early videos, there's a guy out there that put work in and took those belts, and basically he took it in his own hands, which is a interesting move, to vacate those belts, and basically instead of them stripping him off those belts. I think that was a smart move, and I only wish the best for the guy, you know, just from a personal standpoint. I'm sure the guy will be back soon enough, and I hope he doesn't catch too much criticism, because it seems like a good decision just to have his priorities straight, you know, and take care of what comes first, and that's probably his health, you know. But I still see him like as at least like the guy that hasn't been beaten to give up those belts. So he has to be regarded as one of those top players still, you know, even if those belts are redistributed. But still the guy has, like I said, put in the work, so he has to be regarded as one of the top guys when he comes back, if he comes back.